Well, it's National Oyster Week, which is a great time to celebrate an essential part of our local ecosystem, the oyster. Did you know that when oyster shells are properly recycled, they can be used to rebuild reefs in the Chesapeake Bay?
And the Walrus Oyster helps lead the charge for Oyster Recovery Partnership's efforts to save the bay. Joining us today, he's already getting to work.
Already too hot.
Chef Ben Nichols, the culinary director at the Walrus Oyster, and Allison Albert Gercio from the Oyster Recovery Partnership. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. So, we talked a little bit about recovery. So what is the easiest way to help save the Chesapeake Bay?
Hi, Allison. Can you see us? That was great.
They said do a live cooking demo. That's what I'm doing.
There we go.
I'm sorry, repeat
What's
the
the
question.
easiest way to help save the Chesapeake Bay?
The easiest way is by eating oysters, believe it or not, because one recycled oyster shell can become a home for 10 juvenile oysters. So we rely on restaurant partners like the Walrus, who's actually one of our top 10 shell recycling partners, to provide those oyster shells that we use in our restoration efforts.
Okay, so if we're having them at home, if we decide to have an oyster bake or something at home, what do we do with the shells?
So we have a network of public drop sites, usually a local municipal dump. I don't know what the proper way to say that is.
Right.
And you can take your shells there. We have a list on our website, shellrecycling.org.
Okay.
And how many bushels have you recycled so far?
So
A
many.
lot.
We're very close to. Go ahead.
Millions of pounds. I don't know.
Wow.
We usually have more shells than we can recycle. So we go through so many shells, and we're really glad to have the partnership with them because it really puts something that's usually a waste product back into the system, back into the Chesapeake, and really helps the locals out.
I think some people don't realize how much it does help the bay and kind of restore it and find a new home. All right, Chef, what are you making for us today?
All right, so we're doing a little demo on oysters Rockefeller. So I've already pre-sauteed the filling, which is just little shallots, garlic, butter, and celery.
It smells so good.
Yeah, it does.
Gets a little salt and pepper, chili flakes, okay? So that'll cook in, and then what you'll do is you'll actually just take some oysters and put those on top, and you'll put some breadcrumbs, and then you put those in the oven for a few minutes. And when they come out, there we go.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Should look like that,
Oh, that's beautiful.
okay? And these just get onto a plate like this.
It's giant. Is that rock salt? What is
Yeah, it's
that?
a rock salt. So we like to use that
Decorative.
because oysters are so uneven, so it doesn't top over.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you're here because I love oysters, number one, but also, I mean, it sounds like you're recycling a lot, but I wasn't aware of this
gotta put the
program.
sauce.
So for
Cut
anyone
them more
watching
apart.
that wasn't aware, this is
You wanna put
great
that on?
to know.
Sure, just drizzle that on.
Absolutely. Oysters are delicious, you know, in Maryland and DC and Virginia especially. Enjoy oysters all weekend long at the Walrus. They're going to have $1.50 oysters all weekend.
All
which is
weekend long.
amazing.
Oh, that's a
oysters
great
all
deal.
the time, but you know we do happy hour oysters during the week for $1.50. We're running it all weekend, and we also have our oysters Rockefeller here. So she just finished with a little bit of butter sauce on top.
Is that okay?
Yep.
What
More
else is
sauce,
in
the
this butter
better.
sauce?
It's basically a beurre blanc sauce. So it's a butter sauce. So it's just a little vinegar and butter, and
Oh, yeah.
salt and pepper.
Very light.
How is it? It's light.
Very light. I'm going to get this to the camera so everybody can see the
That's
the
right.
oyster
And you have two
Rockefeller.
locations.
We have two locations. We have one in the National Harbor, and we have one in Columbia, Maryland.
Okay. And so you're celebrating National Oyster Week at both of your locations with your
Yes.
$1.50 oysters all weekend long.
Yep, $1.50 oysters all weekend long. Running the oysters Rockefeller. We also have a great other menu with other oyster items, fried oysters, sandwiches, everything.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to a myth? Like, there's only certain times of the year you can eat oysters. I grew up in Florida, so it was always like
I heard it
any
gas.
month that has an R.
Not
Thank
anymore.
you for asking.
Not anymore, especially with farm-raised oysters. If you get, you know,
Okay.
the wild oysters, you know, nowadays are perfectly fine. That's where the myth kind of comes from. But farm-raised oysters, which is where a lot of oysters come from now, especially you know, great quality oysters,
Okay.
are much safer because they're a lot more controlled.
Because I always thought the heat of summer, it was usually not the time to eat oysters. But I do know, I mean, they come from Canada and the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
But
Yes,
the farm
everywhere.
raised is the important part there.
Yes,
Like
and we,
you have 'em.
I think 90% of our oysters are from Maryland. So
Oh, nice.
And tell me
Yes.
how Maryland ones are different from, say, West Coast.
it's kind of like wine. It's like it depends where it's grown. All the oysters are really the same where they start, like the seed, and then wherever it grows is kind of the conditions is where it kind of develops its shape and flavor and texture and all that kind of stuff.
Whether
Yeah.
they're more
Call it
briny.
the terroir as
Terroir.
opposed to the terroir of a wine.
Oh, okay. The terroir.
Okay,
I
all
like
right.
that. I'm learning something new every
Yeah.
day.
Where can we go, Allison, to learn more about helping with the oyster restoration?
So oysterrecovery.org to learn more about what Oyster Recovery Partnership does, but also nationaloysterday.org shows all of the restaurants who are participating in National Oyster Week along with the Walrus.
Awesome.
And
Excellent.
there's 50 in the DMV.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here. National Oyster Week weekend starts tomorrow and runs through Sunday. And again, you can celebrate with $1.50 oysters all weekend long at either one of the Walrus Oysters 2 locations. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
This was great.